This is the fourth video in our series on factoring, and in this video we're going to be dealing with sums and differences of cubes. So this is another special case. In order to use this, you're going to have a binomial, so two terms. Both terms must be perfect cubes. In this case, we can deal with two terms that are either being added or subtracted. And the forms for how these things are going to factor are shown here. And you'll notice that the forms for both of these are pretty similar. You're going to need to memorize these. But fortunately, if you can memorize one, then you'll probably be able to get the other one pretty quickly. The only thing that really changes between the two are the signs. And there's a really great way to remember how the signs work. It's using the mnemonic SOAP, which stands for same, opposite, and always positive. So here's how this works. In your original problem, if you originally had a plus, then the first sign will be the same, so also a plus. The second one will be the opposite, so if you started with a plus, the opposite's a minus. And the third sign is always going to be positive. Likewise, if your original problem started with a minus, you're going to have the same, the opposite, and then always positive. So using SOAP, you can figure out what the signs are going to be relatively quickly. I'm going to go ahead and do one example here, and you can find additional examples later on in the video playlist. And for this example, we've got u cubed minus 64. So I'm going to start by, first of all, checking to make sure that we do have perfect cubes here. It's obvious that u cubed is just u to the third power. 64 is 4 to the third power, so we are dealing with two perfect cubes. So this thing will factor, and I'm going to go ahead and start by setting up the parentheses and the signs. So we're going to have a binomial followed by a trinomial. I'm going to do my signs next. I'll look at the sign in the original problem, note that it was a minus, so we'll use SOAP, which stands for same, opposite, and always positive. So now I've got my signs set up. And now we just need to go ahead and fill in each term using sort of the building blocks that make up the original problem. So the thing that we cubed was a u and a 4. So u and 4 are going to be our two building blocks. The binomial, we just copy those and fill them in directly. For the trinomial, at the beginning and the end, we need to square both of those. That would be u squared and 4 squared. And for that middle term of the trinomial, you need to multiply those two building blocks together. So 4 times u, or u times 4. So we'll go ahead and write out our final answer here. U minus 4, u squared plus 4u plus 16. Now, oftentimes we'll want to check to make sure that you can't factor anymore. Let me give you one big hint for sums and differences of cubes. If your original problem did not have anything that could factor out, then neither will either of the factors that you get out at the end. So since u cubed minus 64 did not have a GCF of any kind, then we do not have to worry about factoring either of these things any further. They will not. They never will. Okay, you can find additional examples later down the playlist. Thank you.